This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast.
Go. Good morning, my love.
Hey, baby. Good morning.
Welcome back.
What are we chopping up today, babe?
Whenever we don't podcast for 2 weeks, like whenever we've batched, so this will be funny too, I'm like, wow, it's been so long since we've done this. Yeah. What are we chopping up? Okay, this is something that I'm seeing a lot of, and I've been reading a lot about it, and I do really want to do a book club. Sometimes Trey and I do book clubs, which you know we do because of the way we were obsessed with Schnarch.
Set my timer for 28 minutes.
We're real high tech here. Real high tech. Anyway, I'm currently obsessed with my wonderful colleague, Dané Logan, shout out, with her book, Sovereign Love. And I am seeing these patterns play out so much, and I have been talking with so many of my male clients about the ways in which we think we're supposed to show up in relationship. And these concepts are blowing my male clients' minds, particularly the ways in which we get into relationship. And then I hear from a lot of male clients, that they have felt like, and you might have just heard Dané say this too, that the woman they were dating is not the woman they married, like that they were duped.
Okay.
Have you ever heard kind of this concept?
That's common.
Okay, talk about it, because I want to break it down, and I think you could give me inspo.
Oh, the easy one, like the stereotypical one is like, I used to get blowjobs. And as soon as we went through the ceremony and took a bunch of pictures, the blowjob stopped. Or I used to get lingerie, or I used to get like fucked, like special sex. And now that I've put a ring on it, it's gone. Right. That's the stereotypical answer.
And do you feel like you hear this a lot, have heard this a lot?
And probably the other side is like, now he's fat. Yeah, I'm
I
talking
knew
about
where
straight.
You would take it right away. Go.
I'm talking about straight relationships. I'm not talking about my gay brothers, dude. Those guys are fucking ripped. Abs, sweat, tan. What were we saying? What were we talking about? I can't be thinking about beautiful cocks all day. I'm a busy man.
And I was like, Trey's going to take it to the place that I know you are, because this is the type of partnership we practice, which is there's always two people involved in a relationship. And yet, yes, that's exactly the type of thing I hear, which is, yeah, I used to get the blowjobs. I used to get the lingerie. I used to get, the easygoing woman. I used to get, yeah.
And then the other side is I used to get like dated. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Like he used to put on a collared shirt and give a fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. So what Dané is pointing out is that because of this idea that so many men were not encouraged to show emotions, be an emotional human being, be a full human being, right? Like, yeah, love sports, but also enjoy tenderness as well. That there is kind of this inner hatred of the feminine, and then a lot of men have wounded, shall we say, relationships with their mother or female caregiver. Most people I meet, there is some form of resentment in that area. And so she argues, and it's her opinion, that men will get into this place in relationship, which is exactly what you were saying, which is they get to a point in which they would love to be taken care of, right? Now that I've put this ring on it, now that I've made this thing, I am almost like, well, it's your job to give me sex. I can't tell you many times I hear this, right? Well, this is what you do for me. Like, this is what I'm entitled to now. I'm allowed to get fat because you give me. Go ahead.
It goes both ways.
Yes, it does.
Entitlement.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
That's the shadow side of like accepting.
Right.
Yeah.
So her little wheel that I've just been mesmerized by recently is, yes, shadow side of entitlement comes in. Mostly because of big P patriarchy, like this wild gender norms that we were taught, these wild...
Oh, it's both ways. I don't think it has to do anything with patriarchy. But like you're speaking about just men right now?
I believe it does. Again, big P patriarchy.
Okay.
I believe has these very clear roles of what a man's supposed to do and what a woman's supposed to do. And I think it's fucked us all. Okay. Please hear me. I'm not letting one off the hook. This is the little wounded graph that she makes, though, that's really fun. So
This
starts.
is a two-way street because this is big M matriarchy as well, right?
I believe that the matriarchy is a necessary upholder of the patriarchy, yes, and that women contribute to this all of the time. And I believe that men have been wounded by the patriarchy, big P.
All of this is two-way for me. We're like, you can say this about both genders, but we're specifically focused on men right now.
Let me continue. No, I have a. It's getting there.
I'd be happy to let you continue.
Let's get there. So
I can ask questions though, right?
yes.
Okay, just making sure. I'm not cutting you off, am I?
No, there's been an outro, boo boo.
No.
Okay.
No, the whole let me continue. I was like, genuinely, I'm asking, did I cut you off?
Yes, I am trying to explain the ways in which it moves through a cycle, and you have now twice interrupted, saying, "But it's women too, but it's women too," and I'm like, yes, I'm getting to that. What I think is interesting is even that interjection. When we have this posture of, yes, any form of shadow side, we all embody shadows. What Dané has tracked, and what I agree that I see all the time, and what you were saying when you were first telling the story, is that a person in a male body, again, we're talking het relationships, which I think are the most fraught because there are the most scripts. That type of shadow energy starts to come forward of, well, you need to give me these things, and this is what you do for me. Dané argues that then the person in the female body starts to move into a caretaker role, right? They start to caretake, which is more of a masculine energy thing, which then irritates the male-bodied partner in the relationship. And so then he starts to practice this idea of, and I see this day in and day out, trying to assert his control back over this situation, which then puts the person in the female body into this anxious space of, oh no, now I'm going to lose him. And I see this, which then puts him back into a, you need to take care of me cycle. Boom, 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 round and round. Yes, to your point. I think it has harmed us all. And what I find so fascinating is that, yes, the people that we are often in dating doesn't tend to be the same people we are inside of a long-term partnership. I just saw this week 3 or 4 times, because as lust and limerence fade away in that 1.5 to 2 years, what we start to see is the person we're actually partnered to, the person with history, the person with story, the person with wounded relationships with primary caregivers. And then what starts to happen is we start acting out of those relationships. Yeah, it's fascinating. Thoughts, questions, feedback. You still on the fact that I felt uninterrupted?
No, I'm past that.
Okay. I find it interesting because, especially in our dynamic, we have noticed that some of our biggest points of growth, I'm going to call them, have been related to original source wounds. An action in our partnership has triggered a source wound. Yes?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
And I just always find it endlessly hopeful when we don't feel like victims to the situation. And so when I hear that I used to get blowjobs, I had a person tell me last week, well, it's just my understanding that this is how things are supposed to be. And if she wanted to, she would.
Would what?
Would be more sexually desirous of me.
Like a switch?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not how women usually get turned on.
Yeah.
Yeah, spontaneous. Can you talk about spontaneous versus what? Reflexive?
So close. Responsive.
Responsive.
Yeah.
Spontaneous versus responsive?
Reflexive sounds kind of fun because it's like
that's when you're looking in a mirror.
You're
like,
your
fuck
reflection.
Yeah. Fuck yes.
Fuck yeah. It's erotic self-focus that works. Yeah, spontaneous desire is, I see this beautiful body. I want to have sex with this body. Amazing. Or, ooh, I'm feeling horny. Or, ooh, I had a great day at work. Or, ooh, I'm stressed. You know what sounds great? Sex. All these things are spontaneous desire. Usually, I like to equate it towards you're driving down a street that has like a bunch of fast food joints on it, and you're like, ooh, I'm hungry, right? Your body is like, ooh, food, I'm hungry. versus responsive desire, which is responding to sexual stimuli, which is responding to arousal in the body, which is responding to touch, kindness, connection, romance. I love that you said the dates, right? Which is responding to so many different things, maybe erotic stimulation, maybe watching off campus together, right? We talked about it with that understanding responsive desire understands that it's people inside of a relational context. And that when the contexts are stressful and maybe male body partner isn't taking out the trash, isn't helping with any chores, isn't, right, is, yes, going to work and providing, but also that there's no connection or romance or emotional stimuli. Yeah. The responsive desire means there's no like, poof, he walks in the door. No, it's responding to a bunch of things, which is why some theorists are like, sex starts at the previous orgasm or something, right? That foreplay is a part of all of life.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who said it? Sex isn't everything. It's just a part of everything. Is that yours?
I need to go research it. I doubt it is.
Okay.
But yeah, why is it coming to mind right now?
It just reminded me of what you just said.
Yeah. This idea that, we're not going to be having penetrative intercourse all day or playing with one another's genitals all day. No. But the reasons we have sex, that we move towards sex, that we desire sex, the reasons that sex is good for us, that's a part of everything. It's really interesting. I get to watch people all the time come to understand a wonderful solo sex practice, and then they get to see how that benefits their partnership, and then they get to see how the better sex that they're having inside of partnership is benefiting their kids because their kids are watching them be more affectionate, and then they're getting to see their friends be like, what's going on with you two? You look like you're in a second honeymoon. Go ahead.
So you said with your male-bodied clients, and are these straight relationships?
Yes, I'm really, really focused on these right now because there's the biggest majority of scripts we have out there are for hetero, straight relationships.
You said that, like, I think somebody said, like, oh, this is just how it's supposed to be, which I would say this is normal, but it doesn't make it preferred. Oh. It's like my hair is fucking thinning, which is normal, not preferred. This isn't a genetics question, or this isn't an aging question. Well, it's a maturing thing, but like, we can always get better at talking and doing these things. What is the solution? 2, I used to get all these things, now I don't. I felt like I've been duped, which is a fucking tough pill. And it's hard to fucking say to somebody, God bless. What's the solution? What are you working on right now? What's been working?
What's been working is moving my clients into greater self-definition, greater understanding of wholeness within themselves, greater grasps of the ways in which they can voice wants and desires into the third domain, and understand that a not right now or a not this but that is a beautiful negotiation to agreement, but that takes a healing of self, right? I think so many of us got into relationship because we were seeking to heal an older wound, right? We were seeking to have a part of us filled up, which gives us all such a clear example of there was some deep belief that there was like something missing in us. So we're asking this other person, well, give me sex because that makes me whole. Give me the blowjobs because that makes me whole. Wear the lingerie because that's what makes me feel good. And so there's this greater, more beautiful, amazing work to do of getting to Schnarch and Bader and Peterson all call it this exploratory phase of relationship. Of, okay, now that we're in this relationship and we're out of symbiosis stage, the like smushy, lusty limerence space, who am I inside of this relationship? Who am I? This greater knowledge of self, this greater contribution to the community at large, this greater understanding of what these beautiful men that I get to work with have to offer the world. This like generative, juicy leadership, contribution. I keep coming back to that word of, it's not just this. We talk a lot of times about codependency, right? And that so many relationships that are heteronormative, men stop having friends. It stops being my wife. It starts being my wife is my best friend, my only friend, the only person I can tell, sweet, like the only person I can be an emotional human with. And so it starts to be like this leech, this sucking at the metaphorical teat of the wife. She's got to give me sex. She's got to be my emotional everything. And so what my male clients and I are really working on it with tremendous success is nurturing healthy relationships with other men, going on fishing. I have men going on fishing trips, road racing trips, journey work, like psychedelic medicine work, all of these things that are developing a stronger sense of self, schnarch. What's amazing then is as their female-bodied partners are seeing this, they're responding to it. Cue responsive desire. They're realizing that they don't need to be the caretaker. They don't need to be the provider of this thing. So it allows them to then show up and yes, be in a sexual space with their partner, then play, then go to curiosity, then all of these things. And it's just been a delight. It's been such a big delight recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I also, when I've looked at some of these patternings, have seen myself play out, like the ways in which, the reason I even started reading this book was you said, maybe not on air, but maybe, yes, you did, on air, on the podcast a couple months ago. You were like, I am worried that this is going to be a thing that happens forever. Mm-hmm. And when I hear something like that, I'm like, that's a pattern. And so it's why I dove back into her book, because I knew that she had some pattern stuff like this. And I knew that I was getting on what we have come to name the metaphorical bus of isolation, like, let me pull out of the station. And I knew that that had to be a shadowy side, an unhealthy, wounded space in me. And what I think it was this idea, this like wounded masculine energy in me of like, I'll do it all by myself. I don't need caretaking, right? Like kind of like a little boy who's like, no, mom, like I'll just do this all alone. And that's been just such a beautiful thing for me to sit into of, yeah, what set that off? Because what I would see in you is you looking at me with utter confusion. Like this response is so much bigger than, whatever statement you had put forward, whatever request. And yeah, most often that's connected to an original separation wound or source wound. And so for me, it has been incredibly validating. Incredibly validating. I love anything that can give us a glimpse into, ooh, this is a pattern. Ooh, this is a pattern that, oh yeah, I can see how we slip into that.
If a male client were to say, like, when you ask like the question, who are you? I can easily see someone rolling, like a man rolling their eyes and saying like, I am who I've always been. I just want more sex. Yes. What do you say to that?
I will say it's good to want, first of all, and that sex is good and bodies are good. Pleasure is good. That is a really good thing to want. And then I will ask, when they say, I want more sex, I'll ask the good old Nagoski question of, when you tell me that, do you tell me which of these 4 things you really want? Do you want connection with your partner? Do you want to feel wanted and desired? Do you want to experience pleasure? And or do you want a brief adventure or escape? Which of these? Tell me more. Usually they can go right to it. I say one immediately comes to their mind. So then we start exploring that. And so if it's feeling wanted or desired, then we have really beautiful, curious work to do, because how do we reestablish a self that is desirable to our partner? Because most men will tell me that they don't want obligatory sex. They don't want pity sex. They want mutually desired sex. And I'm like, great, then we get to understand responsive desire. Great. If it is that they want connection, okay, beautiful. How are we nurturing connection of different kinds outside of sex? Is sex the only place we get connection? That's interesting. If it's pleasure, beautiful. I love that. How are we nurturing pleasure in other ways? And do we want this to be mutually pleasurable? Or just singularly pleasurable? Is your partner, your wife, your only source of pleasure? And does she feel that burden? Does she feel like she is the only way you can experience pleasure? And then the adventurer escape. Great. Do you want to go on this adventure with somebody who also wants to go with you? Like calling a friend up and being like, dude, do you want to go to Florida and golf, right? There is usually a desire for that person to equally want to go with you. And if that's the case, are we creating sex that we really want? Yeah. And then they're like, oh, there's some work to do. And I'm like, yeah, but to me, it's like the most fun work to do. And when we can start to ask new questions, and like you said, I definitely get the like, this is who I've always been. This is what I've always wanted. She knew that, right? Kind of, we got into this agreement. What happened, right? I haven't changed. She has.
Yeah. That's common for men to say, I bet.
Yeah. So it's fascinating and fun. Yeah. What's going through your head over there?
Can we go back to when we were having a conversation and I brought up or you brought up patriarchy and I pushed back on that, and then would you want to say like, hey, can I finish my point instead of like you interrupted me? Like, can I ask that where it's like, yeah, can I request that you just say like, hey, can I, instead of like you've done this, or it's like, yeah, if it's true, I don't feel like I did. I felt like we were having a conversation, or I felt like I was pushing back on something. Then it's like, no, I'm going to talk now. And that's okay. We can do 80-20 on this if you want to. I would love to know. Like, you can do the majority of the talking. That's fine.
No, that's not what I would like.
Okay. Yeah, you lost me on the like, this has to do with patriarchy, and yeah. So yeah, I just felt kind of like probably don't talk much anymore. So don't interrupt Lauren.
Okay.
So that's where I've been this entire podcast.
Yeah, I can tell. Can you say more about losing you with patriarchy?
Yeah, I just, like, my opinion.
I'm just curious what you meant by that.
When someone brings up patriarchy, it, like, men are in charge, and it just goes to, like, in my mind, this is just for me, where it's like men are in charge and we control everything, and like, this is what we need to kind of stand up against or push back on. And the issues that we were talking about in this podcast, like relational dynamics changing from the beginning to like the middle, I just think are very human. And that's all. That's all I was trying to say, where it's, yeah, it's just very, like, there's so much going on. And then if it's framed as, I think this is big patriarchy, it just, I don't know. I think that's all. So, and did I didn't feel like I interrupted you. I felt like we were having a conversation, but I don't like being interrupted myself. And so
I think we always get to, you're gracious with me when I accidentally interrupt you. I never intend to cut you off mid-thought, but I felt cut off mid-thought. I was sharing and trying to continue to share that this has been the frameworks that our parents before us existed in, and their parents existed in, and the parents before them existed in a male-dominated world, existed in a world in which women didn't have checking accounts. Women were pieces of property. There were dowries. It's a part of the structures that we have for hetero marriage. Just is. And it has wounded everybody.
Okay.
It has. I see gender norms every single solitary day. Men who feel this tremendous burden to provide. This idea of, I am only a good partner if. My heart breaks for my male clients who have been told, you do this, you get that. That is from big P Patriarchy. That is from these established rules that someone gave someone of how to be a boy, how to be a man in relationship. Those, in my belief system, that's where it comes from. And I don't say that to relinquish or to slough off, to be like, that's not a problem these two humans get to grapple with. I say that because I often think that we're wagging the finger at our partner. Like, hey, do better. When in fact, we should be wagging the finger at these systems that fucked us up, including religion and including these patriarchal things that it's like, why are we doing things this way? We don't have to do things this way. So that's what I was trying to get to. So I did feel interrupted, but I don't think you intended to interrupt. I think that I had a full thought that I was trying to complete. And I ironically felt you interjecting and going, no, it's not this. No, it's not this. And well, but women, and I was trying to get to that. I wasn't trying to say there's some blame on men, especially the beautiful ones who come to work with me, and especially the ones who listen to this podcast, and especially the you in front of me. Yeah. Is there a world in which I can feel interrupted? And that wasn't your intent?
Yeah, it's this world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You made a hand gesture like, don't interrupt me.
Okay.
Is that what you feel like I did?
When did I make this hand gesture?
Just when you were telling the story about, you said, you wanted me to use a different phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, instead of saying, don't interrupt me, or, yeah. Did you feel like I did that to you?
It just hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Can you say more?
Not right now, no. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. What, could you describe the feelings?
Yeah, like I guess it felt like you were on stage versus we were having a conversation all of a sudden. So it felt like, I'm the expert, which you are. And I'm going to talk now. So, yeah, that's what it felt. Mm-hmm. Was that your intent? Absolutely not.
How does it feel to very awkwardly wrap up here and then make the next one part 2?
Sure.
Thanks for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast with Lauren and Trey. These are obviously our opinions. Take what you like, leave the rest.
Who's listening to this? Turn this off. Go listen to stand-up or read a book. I have a problem with you.
Don't be here.
Not Lauren, you.
Don't be here.
Especially if I know you and we're friends. Not anymore.
Go to sexandforyou.com/free consult if you want to chat more. I would love to talk to you about these types of frameworks that deeply cause friction in my own relationship. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.